Trump did an interview on Twitter, which has become the home of the fascists. So really, he only does these appearances on networks or in places that will always be favorable to him, something that I think will come into play in next week's debate because he's used to making these outrageous claims and having nobody check him or getting no pushback whatsoever. And then the viewers there are just receptive to anything he says, so they agree, just like with this clip when he talks about funding for education.
I am going to, very early in the administration, we're going to send education back to the states. We're going to give them approximately half the number of dollars, and they're going to have so much money that like they've never had before, because they can spend a fraction of what we're spending right now.
Now, what he's saying doesn't make a lot of sense because 90% of school funding comes from state and local sources already, a large chunk being in property taxes, which is something that needs fixed because neighborhoods with poorer homes then have poorer quality of schools, and cutting out other methods of funding, as Trump is suggesting, would only exacerbate that issue and make it worse, while there is a direct correlation between funding schools properly and student achievement rising in math, English, social studies. I mean, the data is pretty clear on the matter, so you should be warned about anyone saying they're going to slash school funding in half.
I got rid of the Paris Accord. I did a lot of things having to do with not only people, but tremendous amounts of money because the Paris Accord was so unfair. And I said, you know, when I do this, people are not going to like it, but I have to do it because it's right.
The Paris Climate Accord was an agreement between almost 200 nations that set to keep global temperatures from rising uncontrollably, which of course Trump pulled us from because he thinks climate change is fake and doesn't understand that it's not just the changing of the seasons. But luckily, Biden did re-enter us into the deal through executive action. But it seems that him speaking like this just signals that if he's elected again, he's going to go ahead and pull us right back out from this deal, which would be disastrous for climate action around the globe, of which of course affects us as well, and we've already felt some of the effects of it. I mean, see how hot it's been outside. Rising temperatures affect ice in the sea, rising sea levels, more intense heat waves, and also intensifies weather damage, with the rising sea levels also acting to intensify storm surges and flooding, as well as damage to coastal areas, which would increase infrastructure costs in those areas, you know, your taxes and stuff that Trump pretends that he cares so much about for the working class. Do you think he's going to have the working class pay for it, or do you think he's going to have his billionaire buddies pay for it? Because I can tell you, just look at who got the benefit from his last tax cut.
Joan said she was a Republican. Did you know that?
I thought she might have been a Republican.
Yeah.
I know one thing, she voted for me, according to what she said.
Okay, well, there's just one minor problem with that. Joan Rivers died 2 years before the 2016 election.
Trump just confirmed dead people didn't vote for Biden in 2020, but they actually voted for him in 2016. This is just another case of him not really knowing what he's talking about, being far detached from reality, and largely just saying whatever he thinks will convince people into thinking that he has more support than he ever actually has. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.